Alright, so in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to get a lava plane into your map, which would be the lava which if you fall you'll die, as well as kind of just show you how to get some basic platforms into the map, and probably a little bit of lighting, but it's just going to be a very basic tutorial. So down here is where you can find all your assets and maybe like, what do you call those? Basically anything you're going to really need for the map, but if you go to Prefab, this is where all the good stuff is, which you'll have to go to the inspector to actually see what it looks like. But what I'm going to look up first is lava, and we're going to find lava 100 by 100. If we can find it hiding in here. Well, lava, there we go, 100 by 100, and we're just going to drag that one onto your scene. So the first time you actually drag it into your map, it's just going to be an empty square. There's not going to be any lava. For it to actually show up, you're going to have to save your level and then reopen it. Sorry, and close the client and then reopen it. So I'm going to be doing that now. There we go. So now it's not very nice looking, but it's good enough for now. So what you're going to want to do is, I personally do, is we have these little arrows and stuff, and these are your forces. So these are what are pushing the lava to make it flow. I normally just delete all of them, but except for one. So I'll delete the vortex, and then I'm going to delete the directional. And I'm just going to leave the one because when I get into actually deciding on where the lava is going to go, I'll usually just copy this one and put it in another location, or change the different type to, say, a vortex if I want it to go. I'll make a nice pool. But for now, we're just going to leave the one, and that's good enough. So now, once you got that set up, one really nice big place for you to start your map on is with one of these nice gym mats. What was it called? High jump mat? Yeah, so we're going to find the high jump mat. We're going to drop that onto your map. And unfortunately, it's going to usually float up very, very high. So you're going to have to bring it down to where you want. So just drag it down until you start seeing it disappear, and then drag it back up a bit. And then same thing with your starting point. You're going to drag it up, and these arrows you just use to move everything around. Drag the start to where you want it to go, which should be on top of here. And that'll be your starting point, and from there you can also look up these, where are they hiding? These octagon mats. Let's find the right one. This one here. The mat octo is really good. It's a really good one to have. These are just the ones you'd find in the gym normally, in the gym maps that Clay includes, sorry. So now that we got this on, we can see if we can actually make this very large distance of a jump. So we're going to click the little play button at the top, and we're just going to hold it on for a few seconds while it loads. There we go, now that's loaded. We're on top of our little platform, and we're going to jump here, and sure enough, we can make it. And for most of these things, you're going to usually want to test them just to make sure you're able to actually make the jump, because sometimes you'll set it a little bit too far. You'll go to jump, and then you're just not going to be able to make it. And then you've already got 7 other platforms set down, and now you got to move them all a little bit closer because they're just not quite possible to make it. And the one cool thing about the lava physics in this, it'll automatically generate the nice harder looking rock around your map. And it also does, I don't know if you can see it, but if you look at the side of the thing, it'll make charred on the side. Yeah, it's also on here as well. So now that we've got this set up, you just hit Alt-Tab or Escape, and then you click the play button again to get out of the test mode. And then this also updates the harder rock in the just your scene right now. So we're gonna copy a few more of these. Just Control C, Control V, just to and just space them out a little bit, just so that it's giving him something to jump to. And then these ones you can also go up to here. The top left, there's this one with a square and arrows pointing away from it. So you click on that, and then you're gonna get these arrows with square box on the end instead of little pointy things. So if you pull on the green one, it'll make everything taller. If you pull on the blue one, it'll make it wider. Same thing with the red one. I'm just going to leave it as normal for now, but what you can do for like the next platforms is you make them a little bit taller, and then you get it, just keep going till they're nice and tall and you're up high in the air. And then you can take another one of these things, whoops, Control C, Control V, and then you can make this your new place where they got to go. So since it's obviously not high enough, I'm just going to stack a few of these guys on top and just make sure we're going high enough. It's hard to see if you get it correctly. You don't want it too high. Actually, I'm going to make a suggestion before I actually continue here. So one thing you're probably going to want to do is you're going to go up to the top, go to Window, and go to the Asset Store. And I would suggest installing these two assets. And the first one is called ProBuilder, what we had in ProBuilder. And basically what that does is it's just, instead of having to place models and that stuff, you can just make nice cube blocks just to test everything out. So just click import and then click import again. ProGrids. Whoop. There we go. And import this one as well. And basically this one just makes it so you're not just throwing platforms willy-nilly. It'll make it so that they line up if you need to have two different models lining up. It's I would say pretty good to have when you're trying to put like the prefab walls together. So like there's the wall school? No, it's school wall, I guess. Yeah, so these guys here, so if you tried to put these down without the grid, it's going to take you a long time to actually get it lined up. But with ProGrids installed, it's a lot quicker. You just go into your scene and you have these ones set to 1. And basically it'll just snap together instead of having to be like fiddled around with forever. It's a lot nicer. So once again, Control C, Control V, and now you notice how it just goes up in increments. So this is going up in 0.1 increments. So it makes it a lot easier just to get it lined up instead of having to just, eyeball it. So now that we got this on here, we'll file save, and we're going to do play again just to see if it works and if we have enough height or if we need to move the pillars. There we go. And looks like we are good. So this will make us so that we can get up here and then we can work on our next part. But one thing I suggest is also with these, I wouldn't leave them as they are. It looks kind of strange, all stacked up perfectly. So go to the top left, there's a little rotate tool, the third button on in the middle there. And then if you select this blue line, this will just, depending on which line you choose, it'll just let you choose on that axis. So this one will go up and down, this one will go side to side. But what we want is just to rotate it a little bit. And we'll just do that for all of them. So it's a little bit less even, looks a little more chaotic, I guess, but at the same time, looks more real. Same thing with these. If you notice, they're all facing the same way. It just looks strange with them all pointing the yellow part the same way. So give it a little bit of a rotate. Oops. Make sure you grab the line or else it'll rotate crazily like that. This one too. This one too. And there we go. So that's just to get that there. And say if this was our map. This is not a very good map, but it's could be possible. So what you're going to want to do is, because right now all we have is a start, we can't actually finish the map. So either you can go to here, back to your game mode new and click add checkpoint, and that would add a new finish point to you. Or you can take your start point and just copy and paste that one, and that'll create one for you as well. And then at least then you don't have to drag it back into the map and everything. It's a lot closer. So this would be your finish point. And to get an actual checkpoint in the middle, let's say we wanted this to be a checkpoint here. So you place that one down there. And same thing, just Control C, Control V, and now that one turns to check mark or checkpoint, and then you have a finish mark here. To make sure that this is actually above something, or else it'll just fall in the lava, which would not be fun. Oh, see, look at how bad this is. And this one will be, once again, the blue line will be where you're facing, so you'll spawn in looking like that, and it doesn't really matter where the finished one's looking because you're not actually going to continue from it. So once you got that done, there's a few other things you can do. I don't remember what it's called, but I think it's called bar. Surf bar. So the surf bar, right now it's angled, but I usually just set this everything to 0. And then we try to make it move, whoops, sideways. And this one is basically, it's just the hanging bars that you would find normally. And see how it's really long and skinny. So you can change on here, there's the scale. That's the third option. And if you change the scale from 4 to say 2, it'll shrink it down to about half. Well, it would be half. And then you can just set it close to your mats and make a few of them because make it a little bit difficult. And let's make this one a little bit farther so that it jump a little bit. And then we're gonna add another platform at the end over there. Whoops. So see how this one's angled when you're trying to move it, and it's like it's just kind of hard because you have to move it over and then over. What you can do instead is set to global, and this will make it just, you'll be facing this way no matter what. You don't have to worry about it being angled. So you'll move this one over now. And once again, it's too short, so we'll set this back to local so that we're going for the base, and we're going to extend it. And we'll maybe a little bit lower. And then we'll leave it like that. Then we're going to go to save that one, and we'll test it again just to see if it's working fine. So now we got our markers in here. And if I fall, this will teleport me back to here, facing this way again. And now we got, we're going to skip our final point just because we want to check out these bars. So we'll grab onto them, working fine. And see, we're not quite going to make that one. Let's see if we can make it anyways. Just a little bit more speed. Ah, see, so that one we know wouldn't work, so we'd have to end up clicking play and we'll have to move it a little bit closer to us. Oops. Make sure you grab the arrow. File save again. I suggest saving a lot, mainly because sometimes you'll crash if you run out of RAM or something like that. Play it safe and just save it. Oh, and don't jump badly like me. Oh, what did I do that for? Holy moly, this is difficult. This is a very difficult map. I'd probably move those in farther because you keep colliding with them. There we go. So that's good. So now we'll start working on our new part. Possibly maybe add some pillars on here just so that these ones aren't hanging. Pillar. And we're gonna grab, say, pillar platform. We'll just drag that one in there. And it's halfway already in the lava. And this is way too tall. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go down to the, what do you call that? The scale tool, I suppose. And we're just going to scale this one down. It's a little bit too tall. Maybe make it a little bit thinner because now that it's short, it looks a little bit too stocky. So we'll make that one a bit skinnier. And let's get it down to a size that we like. We'll drag it down to where we want. And let's move. Let's get rid of one of these. Move this a little closer. Oops. Just select the right ones I want. And we're just going to drag this all closer now. And I'll make 2 of these on each side. Just make it look like there's something holding them up. And now that we have a new checkpoint, let's just copy paste this one again. Drag that one over to the new ending point. And Stay there. Alrighty, so what else could I do in here? Oh yeah, so right now we have the directional light on, and as you can see it makes some very, very scary shadows, but uh, as you can see this one will show you kind of how it's aiming, so we're just aiming down to the right, so therefore this side is really nice and lit, this side not so much. But one thing is, I deleted mine, because I didn't really like it, but then everything turns black. So if you, let's just leave the directional light for now, but maybe do a proper lighting tutorial later. I'm sure it won't be perfect, but it's what I used. But once again, you can just go up to the rotation settings and you can change it to how you want it. If you aim it up, you'll somehow make the sky black, but we don't want to do that. So we'll just aim it like this because we're going to be coming from that angle, so it'll make it a little bit nicer to see. Click File, Save Scene again, and then we can click Test. Still a little bit close. There we go, and we got the new record for our map. Fantastic job. So I'm going to end that one there, and I will maybe do lava forces in the next tutorial. We got placing prefabs down pretty good on that one. And maybe I'll do one on animations as well, just because I haven't seen very many maps with animations in it as of yet. And definitely should do one on lighting. So I'm going to save that one here and call it a day.